Welcome to Beyond the Music, Voces que Mueven, a podcast where culture, music, and community move people. We are here in a cultural moment called the Super Bowl, but this conversation is really not about the Super Bowl. It is about Bad Bunny and everything that it means to have Bad Bunny playing at the Super Bowl. For me, the conversation is really about that we are not going anywhere, que seguimos aquí. And so I'm really excited for you guys to see the conversation that we're about to have and the party that we're about to have. And so let's get the conversation started.
Welcome everybody, bienvenidos a la siguiente edición de Beyond the Music, Voces que Mueven. We're really happy to be here with you guys at this very moment that's super important for our community, for society, for our culture, and to be prideful of what's happening today. My name is Daniel Morales. I'm a recovering entertainment publicist. And at the moment, I'm also collaborating with Grita, Canta, Vota in all their projects. And I'm going to introduce to you the people in the panel. And right next to me is Magaly Ortiz, a really good friend of mine. She's the West Coast correspondent of Primer Impacto in Univision. She was born in Los Angeles and she moved to Mexico, to Monterrey, Mexico for a minute. She came back to study at Cal State, LA, and she studied radio and television broadcasting with a dual degree in Spanish. She joined Univision, Primer Impacto, in 2001, and she has done an amazing work interviewing Latino celebrities, including, of course, Bad Bunny, Plácido Domingo, Vicente Fernández, Enrique Iglesias, Ricky Martin. She won the Miss Mamacita Award and other recognitions from the LGBTQ plus Latino community in Los Angeles. She has always supported the community, and I'm really happy that you're here with us, Magaly. Thank you.
Thank you for inviting me. It's an honor.
Right next to her, we have a brilliant mind. Fernando Hurtado is a multilingual, multimedia journalist. He created The Hypen. It's an amazing, amazing place where you can actually learn about our culture and everything that we do. Fernando is a journalist, and with his YouTube channel, he covers the U.S. Latinos, pretty much U.S. Latino culture. Prior to The Hypen, he was actually a journalist at NBC Universal and Telemundo Stations News, where he covered mostly all this, special elections, national elections, and the Olympics. He won the LATV's Week 40 Under 40 in 2023. He teaches visual journalism at USC. Fight on. He's a fellow Trojan. He lives here in Los Angeles. He's originally from Chicago. Bienvenido, Fernando.
Gracias, encantado de estar aquí.
También tenemos a Bacilia Angel, nuestra jefa. She's the founder of Includos and the creator of Grita, Canta, Vota. Grita, Canta, Vota, as you might know, is a national initiative that uses music, culture, and trusted voices to activate the community, to a political scale. She created Beyond the Music, this forum that we're here to explore how the artists shape narratives and why culture often moves people faster than institutions. She's also the author of an upcoming book, The 14 Principles, a manifesto on the building of the world we deserve. But anyhow, I've been talking too much, but before we start talking about Bad Bunny, I want to say a few things about him that are important to talk about. In 2025, it had 19.5 billion streams, making it the most viewed, the most listened person in the whole world. And he's been doing that for 5 years. His latest album, Debí Tirar Más Fotos, was actually the #1 album in most of the countries in the world, which is a feat that nobody really has done before. His concerts in this past year are averaging on gross revenue $8.4 million, and these are concerts that are taking place in Latin America, which is incredibly impressive. And for his 8 concerts that he had in Mexico City, more than 4 million people signed up, and they were online on the queue trying to get tickets. That's something that has never happened in the history of the world. And especially with the event tonight, the social media buzz and the most social media engagement that is happening today is 3 times higher than it was for the previous Super Bowl halftime show, which means the most likely this will be the highest viewed, the highest rated Super Bowl halftime performance in history.
Wow.
And it's also the first time, as you all know, the first time that a solo Latin artist will do a whole show completely in Spanish. And that's the reason that we're celebrating too. But anyhow, the reason that I want to ask you guys, each one for the community that you represent, is what does this moment mean for you and the community that you work with, especially you, Magaly, in this case, that you work mostly with the U.S. Spanish-speaking Latinos, and we can talk in Spanish or in English, como se te antoje.
It's a party, you know, for all of us Latinos in the United States and in the world. It's a whole party, and we need to be very, very happy about this moment because it's ironically outside, you know, within the last year or so, we've seen deportations, we've seen ICE out there getting our people, hardworking people that are out there just to work, and to see Bad Bunny, like you said, the first Hispanic singer that's going to sing in the Super Bowl in Spanish. It's something that we should all be grateful, that we should be proud. If you like his music or not, you don't have to be his fan, but at the same time, he's the one that's right now speaking for us, for the Latinos, because hasn't been shy about the whole situation, and I think we need to support him for that. Like I said, whether if you like the music, I'm not his biggest fan. I used to not be his biggest fan, but I know he has a voice and he's speaking for us, and today that's why we all have to celebrate it.
Thank you.
I think we're seeing one of the biggest, loudest representations of the U.S. Latino community that we've seen up until this point. I cover the Latino community in the U.S., and I'm talking to a lot of young people every single day. And I think Bad Bunny represents, for the first time, an artist who is not translating himself. And you can think of that literally. He's not translating what he's trying to say so that he's more adaptable. He's sticking to his guns and speaking how he wants to speak. There are some words that I grew up Mexican American that I don't know what he's saying, because he is a very much clear representation of Puerto Rico. And as Latinos, he's representing all of us right now. But at the same time, I want to make it clear that he is representing Puerto Rico, you know, and he has never been shy about that. He's never transformed that. He's never watered it down to make it more palatable. And I think right now in 2026, it's certainly a representation that is sorely needed.
Well, for me, honestly, Bad Bunny being on this stage is that how powerful culture is in terms of the fact that everybody's speaking about it. And so essentially it's like culture drives like everything. And so for me specifically, right now we're not watching Latino history, we're watching American history, because Bad Bunny is American and this is history being made with Bad Bunny. Not only that, but he's doing it in Spanish. Spanish is an American language. And so to me, that's so powerful what Bad Bunny is saying and doing for us as a community.
Good. Let's talk about the NFL. Do you guys think that the NFL is ahead of the curve when it comes to cultural issues? Or is this purely an economic decision that they're trying to get the Latino community or the Latino consumer to follow that sport?
Well, I'll say this. I think the Latino presence in this country has always been a political statement, has always also been an economic statement. And so any organization that isn't trying to court Latinos right now, you might as well just be dormant, because it's a growing demographic, and it's one whose purchasing power is growing every single year. And we see it year after year, the statistics that come out. U.S. Latinos represent, I think it's up close to $5 trillion in annual in spending power every year. There's stats that if we were a country, we'd be the 5th largest economy in the world. I hope I'm not butchering that statistic.
4.1 trillion.
4.1 trillion, thank you. So when we have numbers like that, I think the NFL is a business, and I think it's a smart business move to represent not just the United States, but the world. NFL has no secrets about having international expansion ambitions with its expansion, and I think this is a clear example of that.
Yeah, so I was able to talk to Marisa. Marisa is the vice president of the NFL, and she made it very, very clear. This was not a DEI initiative or anything like that. This was a business decision. They picked Bad Bunny because he is the one that would bring in the most revenue, the most views. It made good business sense. So essentially, yes, they're ahead of the game in a sense of they're using data and numbers, but when you look at the data and the numbers, Latinos are there.
Right. I also heard that, well, we all know Bad Bunny has more than 50 million followers on Instagram. I think the NFL only has like 13. The Patriots have 5. The Seahawks have 3 million. And he has only on Instagram 50 million. So, of course, they want their numbers. And we're all watching. Even the ones that don't like the music, even the ones that don't like the sports, we're all watching.
Yeah. Let's talk about the biggest elephant in the room, the reality of life, the reality of being Latino in the United States at this very moment, and how, in one hand, we're celebrating with happiness and culture and language, everything that we are. At the same time, our country is going through a very difficult time where our community is being attacked, if I could say it that way. How does this duality, this complex moment feels for you?
Lo voy a decir esto en español un poquito lo que estaba hablando anteriormente, ¿no? Pienso, como dices tú, este es un statement político y pienso que todo mundo, el que no quiere lo que nos está pasando a nosotros como latinos, está apoyando Bad Bunny. Si no estás con Bad Bunny, estás con el otro lado, ese lado que no quiere a los latinos, que nos está persiguiendo, que está persiguiendo a nuestra gente trabajadora, porque si bien dijeron que iban por los criminales, en realidad estamos viendo que se están llevando a los car washers, como les dicen a los que lavan los car wash, a los que están vendiendo fruta en las esquinas, a los que van día con día simplemente a traer el pan, la papa para su familia, porque llegamos a este país a cumplir un sueño americano, un sueño que nos quieren truncar, ¿no? Entonces sí es un poco paradójico el ver que por un lado estamos triunfando, porque como bien dices, él está representando a Puerto Rico y es americano, pero también nos está representando y es el que está hablando por los latinos y el que está dando la cara y el que no tiene miedo, porque hay que decirlo bien claro, no tiene miedo Bad Bunny de hablar, de saber que están todos los ojos del mundo viéndolo a él y que incluso, como bien dices, hay un show alternativo. Entonces vamos a ver, como dicen, de qué salen más, de qué cuero. Salen más correas. Yo estoy como el Chapulín Colorado.
Yeah, no, I think going back to the business conversation we were having, is it a paradox? Is it counterintuitive? Is it totally at odds? Absolutely. And I think it paints a stark contrast. I'm really excited to see the conversations that come after the show to see what was the impact, not just culturally, but also going back to business, the financially. I think money talks in this country. There's a reason we see disparity in the terms of immigration enforcement we see in different states and in different industries. Money talks. Latinos really do power a lot of sectors in this country. Primarily construction, primarily agriculture are hugely Latino powered. And I think Bad Bunny shows that entertainment needs Bad Bunny and it needs Latinos, but also culture and business needs Latinos in this country.
For me, it's been a struggle, right? Grita, Canta, Vota. Our mission is to use music and really activate Latinos to vote. And, last year there came a moment I was like, are we still going to go to concerts? Are we still going to do the whole concert thing with everything going on and the fear? And ultimately, we came to the decision that, not celebrating our culture, not listening to music is really letting them win. So for us, having this party, having this conversation, celebrating is an act of resistance in a way and celebrating our culture. And so for us, it's also how we keep it sustainable because we are getting attacked in multiple ways. And so we can't be listening to that. And we need to be able to pull through, and to be able to pull through music, culture, food, companionship, gatherings is what's going to keep us going. So we need to keep doing this.
Mm-hmm. Good. And that's really what brings me to almost one of the last questions. If there is a positive message personally that comes out of this moment, what is it?
That we have to be united, We have to use this moment exactly to be united and to spread the word. I have a son. I have a 16-year-old son. And I talk to him about this all the time. I was so surprised when I saw him going out in the march and the protest without me telling him, because I didn't want to talk about this at the beginning, back in June. And he told me, he's like, oh my God, I felt so much pride just seeing everybody hunking and the flags and everything. I felt so proud because I marched myself. I went out back in 1997 when I was in college, and I did the same thing. So it's a time for us to be united, to not stay quiet, although it's very, very difficult, especially for us that we're in front of the camera. Of course, we got to maintain and be objective at all times, but to be united and to spread the world.
I was just interviewing an artist about something else, and he said that the reason he likes music so much is because when people listen to music, they're forced to listen to what you're saying. And I think Bad Bunny is a microcosm of him having a message and people having to listen to it. Him having a message at the Super Bowl, people having to listen to it because people call it the world's biggest stage, which I have thoughts on that because there's bigger sporting events with bigger numbers. And I think the NFL in a way is trying to like court the World Cup audience as well, which, has really big numbers. But music is a way that people listen to what you have to say. So I would hope that the message from this is find whatever action you have to take for people to listen to what you have to say. That might be music, that might be art, that might be voting, as simple as voting. And I hope that's what people take away from this moment.
For me, I see everything as a system. And so I'm an engineer by training. And so I see everything as a system. And so to your point of being united, that we understand that we're all part of this system. And so we need to use our voice. And Bad Bunny is using his voice. So this is like a good example of how he's using his voice. So we all have to think through, how are we all using our voice? What's in our power? We all have U.S. citizens have the power to vote. So use that power. And it's just an example of, ¿por qué seguimos aquí? We are going to stay here. And so make your voice heard.
Aquí estamos y no nos vamos.
Precisamente de eso quería casi preguntarles a ustedes. This is almost like a message for the future of our community. We each had different experiences living here in the United States over the decades. And I'm talking more like people like your son. When I was growing up, it was difficult to speak Spanish. And people before me will be harmed at the school by teachers because they spoke Spanish. So I think there is an advance and there is a better future out there. And I want to ask you each one of you, what's the good message, the good long-lasting message about this moment? Personally, we've been here forever. It's just now that they're discovering that we are an economic power too, and they're using that to their advantage, which I'm fine with.
Si nos quieren usar, que nos usen. That would be it, to be united, to always do your best in everything that you do. Ser an example. En todo lo que hacemos, trata de ser el mejor y poner el nombre de los latinos en alto, como lo está haciendo en este momento Bad Bunny, como lo estamos haciendo nosotros al estar aquí sentados hablando y ser lo mejor que podamos ser para que hablen siempre bien de nosotros. Y como dije, ir con las nuevas generaciones y contarles de tu cultura, hablarles de tu música, hablarles en español, que es tan importante que este idioma se pase de generación en generación. Lo hables bien o no lo hables bien, como tú estabas diciendo que te llamaron la atención en el trabajo porque dijiste algo incorrecto. Lo importante es hablar como Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny tal vez no habla el español correcto, no canta de la manera correcta, pero está ahí y la gente está aprendiendo y puso a todos los gringos a hablar en español y aprendieron, tuvieron meses para aprender. Hay muchos que sí aprendieron.
Sí, claro. I was at NBC for 5 years and I left to start a YouTube channel called In the Hyphen. And the reason I did that was because I was I always felt like I was translating myself, working for NBC, working for Telemundo, and I was never really exploring this messy hyphen in between. And what I hope people take away from this, because we're always looking for like actionable insights, and it sounds cliche, it sounds cheesy, but it really is be yourself. And what I mean by that is I spend so much of my life trying to check one box or this other box. Am I more American or am I more Mexican? Am I more Chicagoan or more Californian? And I realized that in all that looking back and forth, I was totally ignoring this like messy lack of a box, which is where we all belong. I think Bad Bunny embodies this by really sticking to who he is and not adapting or making himself trying to be more appropriate, so to speak. And I think we can all do that at our jobs, in our daily life, and just in the way we carry ourselves. Just be very clear on who you are and make sure that people know who you are.
Be original.
So the two words that I try to strive to, which based on what you both said, is to be authentically bold. And so I think we all need to be just more authentically bold.
Well, thanks everybody for this amazing conversation. I'm sure there is a lot of good things that are going to come out of this historic musical presentation that we're about to see. I want to close down this conversation with something that Bad Bunny said at the Grammys last weekend.
Are you going to sing?
I'm really bad at singing. And let me actually read it because it was amazing. He did say, the only thing that is more powerful than hate is love. So please, we need to be different. If we fight, we have to do it with love. Mm-hmm. And it is a good fight. And we need to fight the good fight with love. Thank you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Show, and it was all in Spanish. Let's get some reactions, see what people think.
Oh my God, after the most amazing conversation that we had, this presentation, this musical thing that we just witnessed was the most amazing thing that has happened in my career. For those of us who have been trying so hard to push for Latin music, we've been trying for years and decades, making sure that we're recognized. This is the pinnacle of what happens.
Wow, so that was as Bad Bunny of a Super Bowl halftime show that I think we could expect. I think he gave us exactly what I had at least envisioned and then some. I think it was bold and authentic, which is something we talked about. And I think overall, which I presume this is what he wanted to have happen, is that this will start conversation, it already is, about why he did certain things, why he's using his platform in that way. It was a very Latino show, yes, but it was also very Puerto Rican. And I think the message is there. And I think it's in that Bad Bunny in and of itself is mainstream. I mean, that's the reason he's performing at the Super Bowl. And it's only going to become more and more mainstream, not just in the United States, but across the world.
Having Bad Bunny perform, a Latina person perform for the Super Bowl halftime, honestly, it was about time, because they tried to do the thing where they were like, we're going to have Shakira and J-Lo to share the space. And I'm like, that is empowerment, yes. But this was the first time where they chose a person to be the standalone act, a Latina person that has been vocal about protections for our immigrants and undocumented siblings. So having that in such a massive platform where we know so many people are watching is everything.
I think this was an amazing event. We see the unification of a whole community and Bad Bunny being represented in the largest stage in the world, where us as Latinos feel a sense of pride because now we're able to, see someone that looks like us, speaks like us, be able to play and perform in a way that just unifies the entire country.
Estoy súper emocionada después de haber visto este medio tiempo de Benito, de Bad Bunny. En realidad se me quisieron salir hasta las lágrimas. Fue una fiesta latina, fue una fiesta que nos puso a todos a bailar aquí donde estábamos en el recinto. Era la emoción, que todos nos sentíamos orgullosos de ser latinos, de ser latinoamericanos.
Such an exciting moment that happened today. But you know what? It's an understatement because it was so much more needed. People think about Latinos, we represent the 5th largest economy in the world, and we forget that. We don't take advantage of our power in the polls, our power in sports, our power in music, but finally today, something moved the needle. So I'm so glad and happy that what entitles at the Super Bowl today make a difference among every single person that uses the language of Spanish.
For me, that performance was beautiful. It was such a representation of what it means to be American and Latino American. For me, I was Mexican American. I am Mexican American. I was really proud to see that he had mariachi. I love to see all the dancing, the culture.
For Bad Bunny to actually bring out everything that's possibly amazing about who we are, it's truly, I don't want to cry. It's truly the best thing that could happen to us musically, as a community, as a culture.
I think it was really incredible, the fact that Bad Bunny was able to showcase the fact that he was climbing up a pole, a light pole, and then there were sparks that came out of that. That is really a statement that is so profoundly powerful because, as we all know, the island of Puerto Rico constantly loses power. And even though they're part of the United States, the most powerful, the most wealthy country in the world, they're not represented the way that the rest of the country is. And he was able to speak up for his people in a way that really showcases the injustices that Puerto Ricans face in America and the injustices that Latinos face as a whole community in this country. So that statement in itself spoke volumes.
Me encantó la parte en donde él mencionó a cada uno de los países, incluso a Canadá y Estados Unidos también. Y bueno, la parte donde él se entrega el Grammy a un niño, que para mí era el Grammy que le entregaba a su pequeñito, ¿no? Benito, que estaba chiquito y soñaba con llegar a ser grande alguna vez y convertir su sueño en realidad. Y también nos pidió a todos que no dejáramos de soñar y no dejáramos tampoco de creer en nosotros mismos, porque dijo, yo estoy aquí porque nunca dejé de creer en mí. Así que felicidades, Benito, estamos muy, muy orgullosos todos de ti.
My favorite part was when the culture showcase, when they had the stands that when you go to any Latin American country and you buy a taco or you get some coffee or you get a shot of tequila or what it is, that thing was so embracing to the atmosphere that we feel in our hearts.
One of the things I didn't expect to see in the Super Bowl is Lady Gaga. Did y'all see her dancing? To me, that was amazing. And it just shows that, you know, you don't really have to be Latino to enjoy our culture. Our culture is meant to be shared. And so it was a beautiful thing.
We're doing this for the next generation. We're always fighting for our community in the future, and if he's acknowledging that his culture, that his music has value, and he's earning all the accolades and giving it to a child, that means that he's allowing us to actually dream that there is a better future for us Latinos in this country.
Thank you for everyone that joined us tonight, that joined this conversation. Today was a reminder that culture is power. Remember to use your voice. Thank you for listening to Beyond the Music. If you liked what you saw here, please share this conversation, follow us on social media, and stay tuned for more.